Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Second down, 13. At the 45 of Baltimore. Brunell back in the pocket. Has a bit of time. Now being chased. Plants throws. He's looking downfield. He's got a receiver. And it is caught. Jimmy Smith at the 5. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. He beats Wayne Starks for 45 yards. Barks out for signals. Drops to throw. Has time. Fires the slant. Jimmy's got it this time. 35, 30. Middle of the field. 20. He's going to the 20-yard line. He's going to score. 10, 5. Jimmy Smith. Touchdown. And the Jaguars are right back in this ball game. Barks out the signals. Pressure coming. Steps up. Steps. Turns. Throws. He's got Jimmy. First down. 20. There he goes. 10, 5. Touchdown. Win. Jacksonville. Done under pressure. Steps to avoid. Turns and throws. He's got him in. Caught Jimmy inside the 40-yard line to the 37 and down at the 36.
Congratulations to Jimmy Smith. That is now his 800th career reception, and what a play to get it on.
This team winning right now, it helps bring so much attention to our franchise, what we did back in the day, like we were talking about, these Hall of Fame conversations. But when we're winning, we see the conversations pick up. So we have noticed that. So obviously, I'm pulling for my team to get to this Super Bowl.
1010XL 92.5 FM presents Jaguars Today with your hosts Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, and Dylan Denmark.
All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome in Jaguars Today here on 1010XL 92.5 FM. Does it feel like I'm in a tunnel, Tony? Does it sound like I'm in a tunnel to you at all? Maybe?
Maybe.
I don't know. No? Dylan?
What'd you
Looking
do,
at me
Dylan?
like,
Sound normal?
Do
right.
I?
Yeah.
As normal as I ever do?
Yeah, it's since we've been in the new building.
Is it a new
Last week.
normal? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because it's a little more echoey in there, just a little bit, but it's fine for right now.
All right, first time fine for right now. Just move along. He's like, if you don't talk about it, maybe nobody else will notice either. I don't know. I just noticed it for the first time today. What's today? Today's the 15th, so the Jags are playing 15, 16, 17. The 19th would be Sunday, right? October 20th, 1996, Tony. I thought about this because Dylan played the Jimmy Smith Open that we've got around here. We need a Keenan McCardell Open. He had 232 against the Rams on that date. And 16 catches. Of course, the Jaguars lost the game. Only scored 14 points on the day after 232 receiving yards. James Stewart, a couple of touchdowns on the ground, one in the second, one in the third. But, yeah, wasted a career numbers day from Keenan McCardell in that one. Mark Brunell threw for 421. Dylan Denmark, how many interceptions did Brunell throw on October 20th, 1996?
4.
Plus 1. 5.
Dang.
5 interception day for Brunell. That's how you overcome, I guess. It's kind of the story of the Jags, right, this season.
Yeah.
Gave up 476 to the Chiefs in total offense, but they got the key pick 6 at the right time. They'd been an opportunistic takeaway team, and hopefully they will be again this week. That is one of the great equalizers in football. There's no question about it, Tony. But now we move towards the Rams. We move away from the loss to the Seattle Seahawks. We'll have Matt Harmon of Fox Sports in Los Angeles joining us coming up here in about 10 minutes to preview what's to come. I don't think he's going to know anything about the status of Puka Nacua other than what's been reported. That,
right.
Sean McVay said, kind of treating him day to day, but there's a lot of speculation that they'll hold him out this week. It all depends. Look, man, it's the NFL. If the guy can play and you think he's not going to set himself back any further, they're going to play him. Yeah. Would it be better for him health-wise to not play for the next 2 weeks? Sure it would, but if they lose to the Jags, and don't think the Jags can't win this game. You're probably feeling a little down in the dumps because of the manner in which they lost to Seattle, but if they win this game and then LA falls to 4-3, I mean, that's not out of it by any stretch of the imagination, but it's not where they want to be heading into the bye week either.
Certainly not. It's funny you bring up that the Keenan game. I was just looking at it briefly. I was like, because the Jimmy Smith game against the Ravens immediately came to my head. I was like, I wonder, the greatest receiving games in franchise history, if they won any of them, right? Because they lost that game to the Ravens that day. So I looked it up. Number 2 on the list is Blackman that day against Houston. And number 3 is Keenan, right? Like, they haven't won any of their top 3 receiving days.
Well, it in part could be because you're behind and you got to throw. I just think that game was a weird one back then, if you remember. I mean, 17-14. It wasn't like they were behind by this massive deficit and had to claw themselves out of a hole.
The only other 200-yard receiving day they've had was in November of 1999 against New Orleans, and they won that one because it wasn't against Tennessee that year.
Right.
So
won them all.
Yeah, Jimmy went for 220 that day against the New Orleans Saints. But yeah, I do
think. What did he go for against Baltimore? Was it 289 or 291?
291.
291.
Yeah,
okay.
15 for 291 with 3 touchdowns.
Pretty absurd.
That's crazy day. But yeah, when you look at what the Jags did this last week against Seattle, it does, when you look at the pieces on defense, right, for the Rams, especially they're not dealing with a bunch of injuries in the secondary coming into the game as well. But you look at what they've done to this point this season. Yeah, the test appears to be a little bit more difficult against the Rams this week than it even was against Seattle last week. And the real question is, would the real Jaguars offensive line please announce themselves, for this season? It felt like they got off to such a good start to the year. They were able to control the first 4 weeks of the season, basically, for this Jaguars team in offense. And the last couple of weeks, it just hasn't been the same. It's been back to a lot more of what we've seen in the last couple of years, it feels like. Now, how much is that? Their center is out. There's just no way to know the answers to all these different things that are going on. But this is a really, really good Rams pass rush and defense. I mean, they're third in points allowed. I think they're 8th or 9th in yards allowed this season on defense. This is a really tough test for this Jaguars offense coming off a week where they just got beat as bad as you can get beat.
I mean, all those pressures and the 7 sacks, and the Rams have better pass rushers.
Yep.
They just simply do. So we'll see. At least for one day, the Jags let DeMarcus Lawrence turn back the clock to prime DeMarcus Lawrence. He's been a really good what would you say DeMarcus Lawrence career-wise has? Sacks. Got to be 80+.
Maybe he might have gotten to that number. I mean, he's been around such a long time.
Man, I'm not surprised if it's even higher than that. I know we're racing now to see who can come up with it first, but what do you got?
Haven't pulled it up yet.
All right, I thought you were going to beat me there. No. I'm there. I just, sometimes it takes a minute. 63.5. All right, so it's in the ballpark. He had a 14.5 sack season, a 10.5 sack season. Here's the thing. Last year, he didn't play much last year, but he hadn't been healthy. He only had 3 sacks. He had none coming into this game this week, and got all over Trevor Lawrence and company. Offensive line was not one of the options in today's poll question that we put out there, and you can't put everything in one of these. I almost did just a defensive question, knowing that a lot of people want defensive tackle and edge help, right? And I know there's been some talk about offensive line. I feel like I hear more about tight end. And we're talking about now if the Jags, who have cleared up some cap space, they have roughly $12 million according to reports. The trade deadline is November 4th. So we're looking today at the Jags look to add help before the trade deadline, which it certainly appears like they're positioning themselves to at least be ready if that opportunity presents itself, right? Which one of these positions or groups would you most like to see them address? So we put cornerback and safety in there because a lot of people are down like, hey, I see it. Dewey, good player, good Jaguar. He's a strong safety. He's not a free safety. Well, that's why they drafted Caleb Bransall in large part. He had that speed that they were looking for on that back end, including that makeup speed, but we know he went on IR and out for the year. So corner safety is one option. Defensive tackle, I split up the line because I felt like everybody would vote for D-line otherwise. But I put defensive tackle, I put edge rusher, and then I put tight end or wide receiver in there because there's been some of that talk as well. Do we have enough at wide receiver? Right now, Travis Hunter seems limited by the routes they're asking him or that he's prepared to be able to run. He's going to only play as a slot player this year, and Liam Cohen said we don't want to pile too much on him. People said, hey, just line him up outside, tell him to go down the field. Well, it can't be that simple, and they're trying not to overload him, as they're not even playing him full-time in the capacity that they envisioned, I think. He's not playing full-time on defense, and he's playing the one position on offense, but we put tight end and wide receiver in there. I did not include offensive line. I don't think it's that likely that they make a big move for an offensive lineman with the depth that they have. And that was a factor in putting this together. I think it is more plausible that they make an internal move and somehow Wyatt Milam gets into the starting lineup, maybe as the left tackle. Maybe he plays guard. Maybe that kicks McCary out to right tackle and Anton swinging over to left tackle if they go that way. Then again, maybe Walker Little has a bounce-back game in London, and they're not thinking along those lines. So anyway, it's out there. If you want to vote on that, just one click at MD_1010XL on social media. Don't forget at 1010XL Fat Tony and at 1010XL Denmark.
But I'm actually teaching Forrest how to ride a bicycle.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's a blast from the past. All right.
Imagine Hacker teaching
We
someone
really
how to ride
don't
a
know
bike.
what we're doing, but we've accomplished it because we got him riding it. We just told him to stay upright and balance himself, and he's doing a pretty solid job.
Hacker, who to my knowledge has never ridden a bicycle to this day.
That's correct.
Still has never
And
ridden
his
a
wife
bicycle.
only rode a bicycle in middle school a couple times.
At least she did, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to believe you could be a kid
Especially in the 80s and 90s.
at any
What are
time
you doing?
and not ride a bike.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever. Take your Uber.
Moving on.
Take your Uber. Take your Lyft. Whatever. All right, so we got Matt Harmon coming up. John Oehser going to join us a little bit early, about 10:45 today, and he'll stick around for an hour as well, as he'll be live in London with a lot of duties over there. So we're ready. We're locked in. 641-1010 on the Checkmate Coatings phone lines or the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. You can stream us on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for Pella Windows and Doors. I told you a million times the story, how a golf ball came crashing through my living room window, and I decided it was time, not just to fix that window, but to replace all the windows in my house. Heck, I even got the sliding glass door done with Pella Windows and Doors, because Consumer Reports will tell you they're number one in all the major window categories, and right now they offer up to 0% financing for 72 months. That's up to 6 years of interest-free payments on the best windows and doors in the business. Online at PellaJacks.com. That's Pella Windows and Doors.
It's a Weight Loss Wednesday.
On Jaguars Today.
Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Make Monday an extension of the weekend by talking football all day.
Oh, you're good.
We'll take apart the top games, key plays, and controversial calls from the weekend. Post-game Monday, served by Dandy Foods on 1010XL.
Introducing the Jag Stack at Firehouse Subs. So bold, it's named after the home team. Stacked with honey ham, smoked turkey, roast beef, provolone, fresh veggies, and the new Duval drizzle sauce. For a limited time at your local Firehouse Subs, there's only one hottest sub in Duval.
Jaguars Today.
For the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios at 1010XL.
Football season is all about hanging at home and watching the big ball games. Well, if your AC and heating unit is letting you down and keeping those electric bills sky high, think about getting a new energy-efficient AC unit from Florida Home AC. They've got great deals on replacements plus rebates and incentives to make it more affordable. Call Florida Home AC at 777-4300 and get their expert staff to take a look. Football season is all about fun and playing for the win. Make sure you have the winning team on your side with Florida Home AC.
Give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. Teach a man to fish. And he's listening to the Nimnicht Outdoors Show.
With tips and stories.
Presented by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning.
Every Saturday morning, 7 to 10.
On 1010XL.
I know you love sports, so why not take that passion and make a difference in your community as a volunteer coach with the YMCA? Whether it's soccer, basketball, volleyball, or flag football, the Y is always looking for positive role models to help kids grow in both skills and character. Even if you've got no coaching experience, that's fine. We'll provide the training. Step up, give back, and be the coach that makes a difference. To volunteer, visit your local Y or fcymca.org.
I'm Frank Frangie for Ricketts Electric. Any good lineup needs power. When we needed power at the Bregan Baseball Complex and all the fields we have at Fort Family Park, we trusted Ricketts Electric. You're going to love these guys. The Ricketts family has been providing commercial and residential electric service for years. Call my friend Zach today at 904-320-5960. You can also find them on Facebook and at rickettselectric.com. Ricketts Electric, the city's best power connection. Call them today at 904-320-5960.
Hey, 1010XL fans, it's game time, but don't get sidelined from the fun. The JTA Game Day Express is the smartest way to get to the bank on time. It's all sponsored by the Jacksonville Zoo and Gardens. There are 5 convenient pickup locations across the River City, but remember, Game Day Express is cashless. All passes must be purchased through the MyJTA mobile app. Get your $10 pass today. For all of your game day needs, go to myjtafla.com.
What's happening, folks? It's your main man, E.T., of course. And whether you're biking through shaded forest trails, casting a line from Camp Chow Pier, or enjoying music by the St. Johns River, Clay County is full of ways to play. This month, experience off-road trails at the 2025 Crawling for the Fallen. Savor bold flavors and classic rides at Moose Haven's 15th annual Chili Cook-Off and Car Show, and celebrate the fall season at fall festivals all across the county. Find a full lineup at exploreclay.com. Come on, somebody.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Want to grow your hair back?
IHRS, right here in Jacksonville, is the only hair transplant clinic in the country that offers multi-unit hair grafting, FUE NeoGraft hair transplants, and the 45-minute effective PRP treatments.
Multi-unit hair grafting gave me more hair in one procedure and within my budget.
Thank you, IHRS. IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Schedule a free evaluation and find out how to grow your hair back and keep the hair you have. Call 904-777-IHRS. Take the first step to restoring your hair today. Visit hairforme.com.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
IHRS has been restoring hair for men and women for over 30 years.
Call now for a free in-person or virtual evaluation. 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Or visit hair4me.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line. Hello. Your floor's missing piece. Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
All right, Mike Dempsey and Tony Smith here with you. Jags in London already. Rams will be leaving at the end of the week. They're staying over on the East Coast after defeating the Baltimore Ravens on Sunday. And here to talk old Rams football, Fox Sports Los Angeles, Mike Harmon joins us. Mike, they asked, what would you like for your birthday? And you said, man, if I could get on Jaguars Today, that would be really fantastic. So happy birthday to you. Mission accomplished, sir. What's going on?
I appreciate that. You know, that's the way to start a day. You sit in a long line to grab some coffee on the way, and then you start yapping to the other side of the country. Honored to be with you guys.
Good to have you.
Start to the year.
Yeah, good to have. Yeah, I think this is a good one. Like, we feel like we're trying to become Rams East here a little bit with the Sean McVay influence on Liam Cohen, and of course James Gladstone as well, with the organizational ties. So I think Jag fans are interested to see if we look like something representing like a mirror image of what LA is going to put out there. But Mike, I mean, you might not know the answer to this as to whether or not Puka Nacua is going to be able to go, but how impactful is that to take him out of that offense if he were to miss this game this week?
Yeah, I mean, look, you go straight stats. I mean, it's 100 yards per game. It's 9 catches per game. It's yak. Like, that's the biggest thing is that, you know, the connection he's got with Stafford, they throw him into space. A third of his yards are after the catch. So it's, you know, that 8 to 12-yard route that, you know, you just catch him in stride and make things happen. You know, you got your boundary X with Devontae Adams, who, look, all of a sudden you go to a place with a good coaching staff and a good vibe, and hey, he wants to play football again. Well, go figure. But all of that to say, I mean, the biggest thing for the Rams right now is ball security and trusting the balance that has been such a hallmark of what they've been doing and what Kyron Williams has been. But right now, just that hand-wringing because you don't have the sledgehammer of Corum because you can't trust him on the field. So it's really made for an interesting conundrum. The latest out here is that the likelihood is that Nacua sits, but you know, we've been shocked before in these NFL waters.
You mentioned Kyron Williams. What was the response locally or from the team to the emotional scene from him a couple Thursdays ago there on Thursday Night Football?
Well, man, it's like anything. It's the flow. I mean, you get the positivity of it, right? People want to embrace him because of how, you know, what he's meant to this squad. But, you know, it's a very real real kind of scenario because you talk about how the margin for error. I mean, you guys watch it with every pass, Trevor Lawrence throws, right? People are moving beads into the positive, the negative, the, whatever. And here they're still trying to really, even with a Super Bowl win in their pocket the last couple of years, you're still the Dodgers and Lakers town. So anytime you get some positivity that, you have a little bit of a setback or those kind of errors, it becomes a magnified deal for sure. And now that USC is kind of good again, the Rams are getting put back into the pecking order, right? And then Jim Harbaugh is perhaps the most interesting man in the world. He's got as many billboards on the highways here as the injury attorneys right now.
That's crazy. Mike, I bring this up over the years from time to time. We don't have a whole lot of interaction with Los Angeles, but I had a guest on a few years back, and I asked him to rank the top 5 most popular teams in L.A., and the Lakers were number 1. The Mexican national soccer team was number 2, and he was dead serious about it. So it was an eclectic mix of the teams and the representation out there.
Oh, there's no question. Now you add Sun coming over for LAFC, and now you've activated a whole other it's a very interesting thing, right? Fan base, international star comes in, so soccer certainly does push towards the front.
All right, well, let's talk Matt Stafford here, 37 years old or young as the case may be. Mike, have you seen age catching up to him in any way, or is that not a noticeable factor in his game at this point?
Not at all. We'll see what happens this week, right? The offensive line's played pretty well overall, but the loss of Nakua and those quick, hey, get rid of the ball kind of things, I don't know that Tutu Atwell or Jordan Whittington are necessarily guys that can pick up that kind of connection. So whether he holds the ball a beat longer, because that's the fear, right? As soon as you start talking about back injuries, it becomes all right, or guys start whispering about retirement. We've seen this in other markets. It becomes a tiresome thing, and certainly here in LA, that was one of the subplots of it all. It's like, do you want to play football or not? And his wife is a very polarizing figure in the city of Los Angeles, to say the least. But when you look at him on tape and each Sunday, it's still there. I mean, he was always your quarterback's favorite quarterback. I mean, Aaron Rodgers never said anything glowing about anybody, but he'd get doughy-eyed when he talked about watching Matt Stafford when he played in Detroit, right? So he's still got that 12 touchdowns against 2 picks. He's going to take care of the football, but Father Time comes for us all, but it looks like the clip is still a little further away.
The Rams are 3rd in points allowed, 8th in yards allowed on defense this season. What has made the Rams, that side of the ball, so successful so far this year?
Now, you look at the defensive front. I mean, this is roster building that I think, you hope if you're your favorite team, you hope they take this blueprint that, not only do you have an owner with more money than the world, but all of that is, for the drafting process. I mean, that youthful defensive line, they don't miss a lot of snaps. They come and they're aggressive. And right now, when you look at Jared Verse and what they've got going up front, it really is mighty impressive.
Yeah, the guys up front are easy to pick out, right? I mean, they're game wreckers. They create a lot of chaos. One guy I think has kind of gone under the radar, the addition of Nate Landman to the linebacking core. He was a good player in Atlanta. I feel like he's continued to progress his game. He's only 26 years old, and he's been racking up the tackles. What has he been in terms of a stabilizing presence in the middle of that linebacking unit?
Well, that's the beauty of it, right? I mean, you're looking at over 9 tackles a game, side to side, and sure and steady, right? And a guy that you can trust in coverage, which, as you guys know, watching this game, it's been a pretty ugly 6 weeks across the National Football League and a lot of the fundamental stuff. I don't know, maybe asking for another day off of practices in the preseason and training camp is not the best for the product overall, but certainly for Landman, he's come in and he's been a fantastic force for them. I mean, the back seven defense doesn't get the the just do out here, really. It's all about what Sean McVay does on the other side and how good he is with a quote that'll bust through. So it's good to give the defense a little bit of run.
We've watched the Jags handle the London thing a bunch of different ways, including they left on Monday this year. The Rams are traveling on Friday from Baltimore. McVay is 2-0 in his time there in London. What have they said about why they're handling this week that way before this London trip?
I think some of it just trying to find different angles to keep it energized and refreshed, right? Because the extra days of travel always an issue, and right now the margin for error being what it is in the division and what you're looking at with Seattle and San Francisco, Arizona not giving you what you thought. Although Jacoby Brissett was interesting last week,
he was.
But I think some of it is like the Jaguars, right? You're trying to find different ways, and as you're starting to creep towards the middle of the season, keep it fresh. Keep guys with some of those older guys like Stafford. A few hours on a plane, probably not the worst thing for them. And just trying to find that win. And obviously the running joke is anywhere they play is about as home an advantage, except for the pumping into that jackass yelling, "Who's house?" And all that nonsense that they do.
You look at obviously you're out there, you know what they're doing. The Rams could be undefeated right now. They're the only team to beat Indy. They had Philadelphia seemingly dead to rights, 26-7. We were shocked that you guys lost to San Francisco, as depleted as they were on Thursday Night Football. So we've kept our eye on the LA Rams because we feel like it's a good model organization. There are some similarities with the way that they have built the front office and the coaching staff here. Let me ask you, Mike, you've got a national perspective and a West Coast perspective. What is the feeling about what the Jags have done to get off to a 4-2 start like out on the West Coast? Is it just an anomaly? Is it, that's interesting? Or have people taken any kind of notice?
Oh, no, absolutely. Because obviously, from the national perspective, what's the first image? That press conference, right? And actually, that's kind of worked out pretty well. Sirianni's done well. Like they've got, whatever the chaos is in Philly now. You go back to Dan Campbell and biting kneecaps. I mean, the history of weird press conferences actually worked out. So this kind of falls in line there. But, there's still a lot, when you have a number one overall pick like Lawrence, I think people waiting for him to break through. And while his stats aren't overwhelming, winning football. And the game against Kansas City, the baby giraffe stumbled to the end zone, might be the greatest thing we see this year. I mean, you could set it to music, almost like the Aaron Glenn highlight of dancing on sideline. But, running the football is something that, for me, I'm a big nerd. I'm a Chicago kid, so 3 yards in a cloud of dust is everything. But being able to overcome all the drops early on, that can only get better, right? The timing, the cohesion with Brian Thomas Jr. has got to get better. The curiosity of Travis Hunter is certainly a national story, trying to figure out where he fits, how he fits, and what goes forward there, and rounding out, the rest of that receiving core. So I think the fact that they were also bold enough to trade Tank Bigsby, raised a lot of eyebrows. And certainly out here where they've been aggressive in the front office, it's fun to see other teams say, okay, we got the guys we need. We can go make this move now. I love the aggressiveness, and I can't wait to see what the rest of the season holds.
Where do you, when we look at the matchup here on Sunday, where do you think potentially the Jags could create the biggest advantage for themselves against the Rams?
They can go run the football and get that started, certainly. But again, the Rams with their O-line, it's been solid, not spectacular. Stafford, we always owe to the age and moving in the pocket, but the loss of Nakua, or the limitation, right? Should he actually be able to go, that you're not going to get that separation from the other receivers, which creates a bit of a big wild card to it all. The other thing being, with the bye week next week for the Rams, like so many other teams, do you risk Nakua? I mean, he's such a huge part of what you do. Not that you want to give a game away, but it is an AFC opponent. It is a London game. There's a lot of extra to it. So I think that changes the complexion of it, and the trust of the run game. I mean, take the old Peanut Tillman. Every punch out, is a step towards him in the Hall of Fame. Shameless Bears plug. But it's the kind of thing that those guys, just keep attacking the ball. You're probably going to be able to force a short field and take advantage.
Now, that's what the Jags have thrived off of early in the season is that Peanut Tillman punch, exactly like you're describing. All right, so let's presume Puka doesn't play. We already know Devin Lloyd's not going to play. The Jags, he leads the league in interceptions, having a terrific first month of the season. What's your gut tell you? You don't have to give us a score necessarily, Mike, but how do you feel this game's going to go?
I think the Jaguars win this game. I think they slow it down. The loss of Lloyd certainly does play, but looking at watching the Rams live a little dangerously. You mentioned the San Francisco game. I mean, that's some of that division short week craziness, knowing each other, and a matter of one play. I mean, he's walking into the end zone and fumbles, but I think it's a field goal game, so that the good folks overseas will be happy with that result. But yeah, I think the Jags, I've been impressed with both sides of the ball and just the balance on offense and Lawrence and company getting their timing. I think they make hay here on Sunday.
All right, Mike Harmon, again, happy birthday, my brother. You can find him on the X platform at Swollen Dome and nationally on Fox Sports Radio, emanating from Los Angeles as well. What do you got on tap for the birthday, man? Anything special?
Well, I think I'm going to have lunch with one of my daughters. I'm going to get a big fat nap at some point.
Ah, hell yeah!
And look, we got more. We got the ALCS later on this afternoon, so we'll be yelling about that. And I'll probably be doing more deep dives into the statistical wonders of Yamamoto after last night's brilliant complete game performance. You think you ever see that with Dave Roberts managing it?
You might not see that with any other manager in today's Major League Baseball anymore, man. To get to 100 pitches, but to go beyond that and complete it was pretty impressive stuff.
The Abacus said there should have been at least one reliever, and we kept waiting for it. We're in studios circling like caged animals, waiting for Dave to trot out there so we could eviscerate him. But hey, it worked out just fine. And by the way, always lean into the pitch if you have the opportunity. Okay?
Absolutely. You got to take it, man. It's only your knee. Come on. What are we doing here, right? All right.
Wear it. Baseball-sized bruise for a week.
It's a badge of honor. Mike, always appreciate your time. All the best. Again, happy birthday, and thanks for the time today.
Thanks, fellas. Have a great day.
All right, buddy. Appreciate you very much. At Swollen Dome, again, is where you'll find Mike Harmon. Well, decidedly different tone from last Wednesday. Let's just put it that way right there. Mike Harmon thinks the Jags can win this in a field goal game. Now, that is heavily influenced by the belief that Puka Nacua is not going to play. By the way, Tutu Atwell didn't play last week, Tony. We don't know if he's going to be available. Their right tackle, Rob Havenstein, is also been banged up, so we'll see. I don't know. Steen or Stein?
I went straight to Young Frankenstein in my head.
Ah, yes, Frankenstein.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, there you go. Mike Harmon, appreciate him hopping on board. John Ogier, just about 10, 15 minutes away. He'll join us live from London. You're listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for my friends at Dandy Foods, locally owned and operated by the Thompsons since way back in 1956. That's right, the 70-year anniversary is coming up. I've endorsed Dandy's products for over a decade, personally enjoyed them for about 3 times as long because Dandy's simply the perfect go-to when you're in a hurry or I'm in a hurry and we don't want the hassle of a long wait. Whether it's a hearty Italian footlong, maybe a delicious chicken salad sandwich, you can't go wrong with the outstanding variety, everything made with the highest quality ingredients, delivered fresh, and the prices kept in check. A great value compared to the drive-thru. Fast, fresh, always tasty, and waiting for you at the cold case in convenience stores all over town. As a matter of fact, next time you're on the west side, step in at the Kickstart Food Store located at Commonwealth and 295 with a great selection of Dandy products to get you rolling. If you're hungry in Duval, Dandy's the name to know. So do what I do when you are. Go out and make yours a Dandy and do it today.
Jaguars Today. From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL.
Hey, Hicken here. Cooler weather right around the corner, but you can extend your swim season with Surfside Pools. This month, Surfside Pool is offering 10% off new pool heaters or heater replacements and installation. Keep the good times rolling, no matter the season. Upgrade your pool heating system now for months of extra enjoyment. Only from Surfside Pool, the trusted name for expert pool service. Family owned and operated. Call 246-2666 or visit surfsidepools.net.
License number CPC 044080.
It's a Weight Loss Wednesday on Jaguars Today. Awaken 180 Weight Loss, your long-term solution for weight loss.
This is Jaguar Hall of Famer Tony Baselli telling you about Heritage of North Florida, Jacksonville's premier roofing and home remodeling company. With over 25 years of trusted experience, Heritage of North Florida has built a reputation for quality, reliability, and craftsmanship. Whether you need a new roof or updating your kitchen or bathroom, trust the pros at Heritage of North Florida to create the perfect place to call home. Mention Jaguars to get $1,500 off your next roof or kitchen remodel when you go to heritagenfl.com. Go Jags!
Expert Automotive on St. John's Bluff Road has some of the highest Google reviews in Jax for a reason. Expert Auto never sells greed, only what you need. All makes and models are serviced at Expert Automotive. This month, get an alignment inspection for only $19.99. Expert Auto does major engine and transmission repair and simple maintenance. All services done at Expert Auto by our ASC certified training technicians. Call today, 374-3373, and ask about $50 off any service. Expert Automotive. We never sell greed, only what you need.
Want a fresh and flavorful tailgate this season? Chicken Salad Chick has scratch-made Southern-style chicken salad perfect for lunch, parties, and your tailgate. Order 3 ways at one of 4 area locations. Call 1-833-MY-CHICK or online at chickcatering.com.
Are you trapped in a high-rate mortgage, watching your hard-earned money vanish every month? Stop right now. At Loan Pronto, they are delivering the lowest mortgage rates in 3 years. Hey, Prosser here. Loan Pronto's rate reduction home loan program is a streamlined, low-cost way to slash your house payments by hundreds of dollars a month. Lock in at a fixed rate as low as 4.99% APR and close in as little as 2 weeks. No appraisal needed in most cases. And here's the kicker. You can skip your next 2 house payments entirely. Don't wait. Rates this low won't last. Call Loan Pronto now for your free, no-obligation quote. Loan Pronto is amazing. So start now by calling 904-999-1508. That's 904-999-1508. Or visit loanpronto.com to lock in your new low rate and skip those next 2 payments. 999-1508 or loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781. Subject to lender approval, NMLS, consumeraccess.org.
It's ET here, and did you know that slow-speed accidents can still cause serious injuries? Ignoring minor pain today can mean big problems tomorrow. Don't wait. Call my guys at McGowan Spinal Rehabilitation Center, the auto accident experts.
Hey, sports fans, it's Hayes Carline here to let you know about my new obsession, Daisy French Onion Dip. If you love eating dips with chips, wings, and veggies while watching football, you'll love new Daisy French Onion Dip and Daisy Ranch Dip. These are game changers. They're as delicious as a homemade dip made with real herbs and spices and other ingredients you'd find in your own kitchen. You've got to try them. Once you do, you'll be hooked. Look for Daisy French Onion Dip at a grocery store near you.
When storms start to crop up in the Atlantic or Gulf this time of year, having a solid plan to handle anything that sweeps through the first coast is very important. That's where American Electrical comes in. Ensure your home's safety and comfort with an American Electrical home generator. As the area's leading home generator dealer and installer, American Electrical can offer you easy installation, simple maintenance, and peace of mind. Schedule an assessment by simply calling the team at American Electrical. They'll walk you through the best generator for your home or business. Log on, american-electrical.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
All right, thanks again to Mike Carmen for Fox Sports, giving us a little time breaking down the LA Rams, or at least some aspects of their team. Obviously, Puka Nacua, huge factor if he can't go. Devin Lloyd's a big factor for us as well, as the AFC Defensive Player of the Month for the first month of the season. Not making the trip. Oh, I think that'll be the telltale sign, Tony. If Puka Nacua gets on the plane, I think they're going Friday. If Puka gets on the plane, I think he's playing. Unless he has like a setback with swelling on the plane.
Yeah,
but
who knows? Yeah.
I think the intent would be that he's playing. I don't think you're just bringing him on the trip when you got the bye week coming up. There's no great benefit to having Puka around on a whirlwind 48 hours leading up to kickoff if he's not going to be able to get out there.
Yeah, it's a really good indicator. Like, obviously, if he doesn't go, then he's not playing.
I think that's a better indicator.
Right, but if he does get on the flight, then at least they feel like he's got a really good chance.
Yeah, I would. If he gets on the flight, I expect him to play. Now, will he be the full Puka Nacua? He's probably not going to be that regardless, but who knows? If he plays, you better presume he's going to be that if you're lining up across from him, because that guy is a load, man. He's good, he's fast, he's quick, but man, he is a powerful, angry football player. You know, he plays the game angry in a good way, right? He's just a physical beast. And yes, don't forget Devontae Adams, who's quite capable of dropping $150 on you still on the other side right there.
He did last year here.
He did, exactly, right? So, and Kyron is a really good back, and it's interesting they don't feel like they can trust Blake Corum right now to provide that power element in the game. I mean, Kyron's the one who fumbled at the goal line, you know, but they don't trust Blake Corum to hang on to the football. All right, why don't we get to today's 10-10 take?
10-10 take. Now, Mike Dempsey's 10-10 take is serviced by Ideal Conditions Heating and Air, your go-to local HVAC company, veteran owned and operated.
All right, let Gladstone cook, right? That's what we are looking for as he continues to clear some cap space and make the possibility of another addition or two significant, plausible reality for the Jacksonville Jaguars moving forward. They've already said that they're going to be aggressive. So what is the position that you'd most like to address? Well, I think the Jags could use help at a number of different areas. And I see defensive tackles winning the poll today, Tony. And I do think that there's a major reason for that. Yes, we need defensive tackle help. But I also think that defensive tackle is, for the most part, and I'm oversimplifying here, a plug-and-play position. You get the right defensive tackle and go hunt the quarterback or go stuff the run. Yeah, there are some stunts and some games. You've got to be on the same page with your defensive ends. I haven't seen a ton of that from the Jags anyway.
Right.
The edge rusher, people talk about Trey Hendrickson. What are you running then if you have Trey Hendrickson? Is Trey Hendrickson starting ahead of whom? Trayvon Walker? Is Trayvon starting inside? What about the timetable for the club? Hendrickson's a little bit banged up as well. Not sure he's going to play on Thursday Night Football this week. Defensive tackle does seem more than any other spot that you can come in here and not be as reliant on the rest of the pieces around you. If you're a wide receiver or a tight end, I mean, look, we're seeing Trevor Lawrence and Brian Thomas not being on the same page, and they've had the entire offseason to work together here. So I just think that is not only a need for the team, but it's the easiest position out of the potential needs to walk in and make an impact. If you're talking about a third down edge rusher, you just get in there, hunt the quarterback, fine. That's one thing. But I think people are looking at a higher level upgrade than that. Could they do multiple of these things? Sure, absolutely. But I think that's the one where you could see an impact player come in and make the biggest difference right away because of the easy transition that position presents.
And it's the opportunities that are presented there, right? Like you'd be making a trade for a guy to come in and have some kind of impact for you when we need you to have an impact on the 30% of snaps that we need you to play.
That's right.
Right. And so it's not like that at every position.
Or maybe
that would be
60% of the
right.
snaps,
Like those kind of
who you get.
Yeah, could expand. So who knows with that side of it? But yeah, they're getting basically nothing from the interior. Armstead has kind of walked into a couple of sacks this year, but those are even sacks where it's been someone else made a play on the line and Armstead got the sack. Right? Like that kind of thing has been, and that's not unusual along the defensive line, but he's been okay.
Yeah, I'll give him credit for being around the quarterback.
Right? They're just not getting impact from basically anyone else on the line. So it makes sense that if that's the top priority for them, if they were going to trade for somebody, that would make some kind of sense. Or if it would be that third edge, certainly seems like a glaring issue right now. I think DeJuan Smoot is a good player against the run and that he plays hard, right? Like he is an echo of the whistle kind of guy. So he gives you what he's got, but you're not getting a lot of pass rush productivity from him. You're already seeing what's happened here the last 2 weeks when Trayvon's not Trayvon. Right, like the whole thing
pass rush
changes.
Disappears.
Right, like the whole thing changes. So can they get a third guy that gives them something in the pass rush department?
All right, Johnny O will be our next guy up as he joins us live from London. When we come out of this quick timeout, he'll stick with us for the next hour, and we'll get the word on the street from what the Jags have going on across the pond. Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, Dylan Denmark, stateside. You're listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today.
You're at the home of the Jaguars in the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Superior products, exceptional service. This is the Swamp.
Keeps out to the fake, running right, blows in the end zone.
It's the other Bulldogs from Starkville.
Touchdown Gators!
Florida, Mississippi State. Saturday at 4 on Jacksonville's home of Florida Gators football. 1010 XL.
You don't need to bet everything on a Hail Mary. Just find a ride in your budget. Because Southside Kia is now Kia on Atlantic. New name, new location, same great deals. And we have the perfect place during the Kia Fall Savings event, like a new Kia payment free for a full 90 days. Or take advantage of financing rates as low as 0%. It's always a touchdown when you shop the best deals in town. Kia on Atlantic, your coastal Kia connection.
For complete details, call 904-250-0587.
It's a Weight Loss Wednesday on 1010 XL. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Hey Jacksonville, it's Dr. Kevin Kaplan, team physician for the Jaguars and proud member of Jacksonville's newest orthopedic dream team. At Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville, we brought together 10 board-certified fellowship-trained surgeons, each one a specialist in their field, all working together to deliver smarter, faster care with better results. From sports injuries to joint replacements, we've got the right player for every position. Visit osjax.com and meet your team. That's osjax.com.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On October 15, 1966, Bill Russell becomes the NBA's first black head coach when he was designated as player coach of the Boston Celtics, winning in his coaching debut over the Warriors.
Here's hoping for a Raise the Roof football season. And here's knowing Next Gen Roofing is up for any job. Game day or storm season, you need a team you can trust. And you know what? You don't need a glitzy roofing company. No shortcuts, no gimmicks, no nonsense. Solid roofs at competitive prices and a commitment to the First Coast community. Right now, save up to $300 on your next roof replacement. When you need a roof, you need Next Gen Roofing. Team with you, it's a win every time.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Since 1977, we've been Jacksonville's local family jeweler with a beautiful selection of fine jewelry and certified diamonds. But we're also Jacksonville's leading buyer of gold, silver, and diamonds from the public. Gold has recently hit an all-time high at over $3,600 per ounce. Pay bills, buy something fun. Now is the time to sell your gold for cash and get top dollar, or trade it in for a new piece and get even more value at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Don't ghost your carpet this fall. Hicken here. Right now, you can get your entire home zero-resified from Jacksonville's Ultimate Carpet Cleaner and get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $139 plus a free haul for Halloween. Get it? There's something scarier than ghosts and goblins hiding in your home. It's in your air ducts. This month, take 50% off your air duct and dryer vent cleaning. Schedule your appointment at ZeroResJacksonville.com. Ask for the 1010XL special. Zero Res, spelled backwards or forwards, it spells the same. Zero Res.
Zero Res. I'm Amber Frangie. Can you believe I've lost 70 pounds in less than 4 months? With Awaken 180, there's no medication, no shots, and no side effects. Call them at 844-346-1800. That's Awaken 180.
Hey Jacksonville, Lauren Brooks here for Big Chief Tire. If you need new tires, Big Chief has affordable options to fit every budget and every vehicle. Their team of experts will help you find the right tires and make sure they're installed quickly so you can get back on the road. But don't wait. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 to schedule your appointment and explore their great tire deals. Big Chief Tire keeps Jacks rollin'.
Rick Ballou for Coy Dental. That's right, Carlson Dental is now Coy Dental. Dr. Lee has been practicing there for 9 years, has purchased the company. The Coy Dental team still has the same great dentists and staff. And remember, if you get nervous visiting a dentist, don't. There's never a problem at Coy Dental with light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation for all your restorative needs. Coy Dental,
Located in Bartram Park.
Clean air, cool air, both are extremely important. Trust Florida Home AC to deliver on both with their Remy Halo, the next generation of air quality technology. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC and breathe clean and cool air.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. It's time for Oh No's with Jaguars.com's John Osher. Oh No's.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. Served up by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
All right, coming to you live now from, I'm sure, one of London's hottest spots, wherever that happens to be. It's wherever John Osher is at any given moment in the great city of London as he joins us from across the pond on Jaguars Today. Good morning, Johnny O, or good afternoon, I guess, as the case may be for you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm at the hottest club there is at 3:45 London time.
Nice. Excellent, man. Bustling.
I'm rolling.
It's a very cosmopolitan city. What's your week
really
been
is.
like, man? What do you got for you? What is this week like in particular compared to when you're back stateside?
Well, pretty boring for me personally. In terms of this, we get in yesterday morning about 9, and I'm an old man now, Mike. In my younger days, I might have gone over to London, but I got to the Grove where the team's staying, and I really just tried to get acclimated a little bit, to get something to the time change adjusted. And then today's kind of weird because your body clock gets you up around like 5, and then practice and their day really doesn't get started until about 2. So it's weird to have sort of your gap on the front end, but it's fine, and now we're into it. Practice just got going, so the week really starts now. I'm kind of joining you right at the beginning of everything.
We know the strangeness of the London trip. We know Liam Cohen spoke today. Were you able to be over there at his presser?
I was, and it was, Mike's been here once way back, and the press conference is a little weird because you get sort of about 4 or 5 sort of football topics that our fans and our listeners are really getting into. The offensive line and the sloppy play. How do you get rid of that? And then you've got some of the the jet lag questions, and you had somebody ask about Travis Hunter, sort of just general stuff that our fans pretty much already know, but they hit the big brush topics. So not a whole lot out of Liam that was new. They know they got to get the offensive line going, and they got to clean stuff up.
Yeah, no doubt about it. John, what do you make of that? You've traveled with this team for a while now, and they've done it a lot of different ways. The one year you referenced, they played the Cowboys. They actually left from Cincinnati on Sunday night. They played a road game and went overnight, stayed the entire week. They got to the point where they felt like going late in the week was the ideal scenario for them in terms of the, adjusting with the body clock and stuff like that. So back to an early week departure, which is certainly within their prerogative to do it however they like. But what do you think over the years? Do you think one methodology has been more successful than another?
Well, it felt for a while in the early part, like right after the time you referenced, which was the weirdest trip, by the way, to leave after a road game, Cincinnati. There were some logistics there that it was smooth from a logistical standpoint, but it was weird. I think some of this was you go over, and I'm going to try to get this right. You go over Thursday or Friday with the idea of trying to keep your body clock as similar as you can within reason so that you don't have to adjust too much when you get back the following week if you have a game. Well, with a bye, that's not as much of an issue. And I can't really tell you why that's true, but that's what I've been told. With the bye, it's not that much of an issue because you don't really have a game the next week, so you could adjust back into your normal body clock. I think one thing that will benefit them, and Liam's talked about it, and players have talked about it, with a new team, new regime, this is about the 2-month point after training camp. So there is a little bit of getting back to that, hey, we're all in one spot. It's like if you ever went to basketball camp when you were a kid, I did, and you get to know your teammates a little bit more. I think there's an element of that they like that sort of played into this decision as well.
All right, John, as you're used to, we got a break coming up here, so settle in, and Johnny's going to stay with us till about 40 minutes after the next hour, and you can adjust for whatever time zone you happen to be in. Listening to the program right now, he's got some Jaguar duties to take care of then, so we've got John for the next few segments. If you've got a question or a comment you want to pass along, you know how to get us 641-1010 on the Checkmate Coatings phone lines. Johnny O, live in London. You're listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today. From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL.
Gator fans are known to get rowdy.
Especially us.
Hicken and Prosser here.
Join us for a first-of-its-kind podcast, Swamp Session.
Live stream from Voodoo Brewing Company.
Right after every Gator football game on the social channels of 1010XL.
Driven by Atlantic Infinity.
Tired of plumbers trying to sell you instead of help you? At Superior Plumbing and Pipeline, and we do things differently. We hire real plumbers, not salesmen, and we never pay commission. That means no upselling, no pressure, and no unnecessary repairs. Just honest, expert work at a fair price. So the next time you need a plumber you can trust, make the superior choice and call Superior Plumbing and Pipelining, where quality comes first and honesty is standard. Superior Plumbing and Pipelining. No commissions, just solutions. Learn more at SuperiorPlumbingJacks.com.
It's Awaken 180 Weight Loss Wednesday
on Jaguars Today.
What's happening, folks? It's your main man, AT, of course. And whether you're biking through shaded forest trails, casting a line from Camp Chow Pier, or enjoying music by the St. Johns River, Clay County is full of ways to play. This month, experience off-road trails at the 2025 Crawling for the Fallen. Savor bold flavors and classic rides at Moose Haven's 15th annual Chili Cook-Off and Car Show, and celebrate the fall season at fall festivals all across the county. Find a full lineup at ExploreClay.com. Come on, somebody.
It's Hot Takes on Hot Wheels. I'm Lauren Brooks. Let's cruise through the day's biggest sports stories from my unique point of view. Buckle up for Lauren's Lane, driven by Mazda at the Avenues, 2 to 4 weekdays on 1010XL.
When you need a mechanic you can trust, visit AA Automotive on Richard Street. For oil changes to complex repairs, AA Automotive is a full-service repair shop for personal and commercial fleet vehicles. Trust AA to keep your ride running A-OK.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Guys, don't suffer through this season with prostate, bladder, or kidney issues. Ackerman Urology has 4 convenient locations with advanced urological care to improve your health and vitality. Visit AckermanUrology.com.
Jacksonville's building a fence along the goal line. This is the Superior Fence and Rail Defensive Player of the Game. Superior Fence and Rail, where quality matters.
Boye Aluakan was outstanding in the Sunshine State. The Jacksonville linebacker tallied 9 tackles against Seattle, with 6 being solo. And he'd also have a quarterback hit, as well as a pass defended. The captain was the absolute truth, and he's your Superior Fence and Rail's defensive player of the game.
You waited forever for your new fence. Then strangers show up. Subcontractors rushing the job. Sent by the company you trusted. Frustrating, right? Superior Fence and Rail promises better. Their professionally trained builders deliver quality you can trust. No subcontractors, no shortcuts. Just the superior craftsmanship your home deserves.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Hey, it's Brent with Arcosa Crushed Concrete. If you've got concrete or asphalt rubble on your site, let me buy it from you, and I will recycle it into construction material for your future projects. Arcosa Crushed Concrete. Get paid for what you don't need.
Fall is here. The air is crisp. Football is on, and the perfect backyard atmosphere starts with a high-quality fireplace from CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. Hey, it's Joe C. Imagine nights by the fire, cheering on your team, surrounded by friends and family. CSS can transform your outdoor space into the ultimate game day destination. Stylish, warm, and built for memories. With several wood, gas, and electric options, let CSS make your backyard the best seat in the house. Visit CSSFireplaces.com.
Hey, this is Lauren Brooks. With over 1,700 5-star Google reviews, it was a no-brainer to have Closets by Design help us get organized at home. They create custom storage for every space, lifestyle, and budget. From closets to garages to laundry rooms and more. Closets by Design will transform clutter into seamless organization. Call today to schedule a free in-home consultation and get 40% off plus an extra 15% off with free installation, but only until October 31st. 18-month financing is available. Call 904-878-9393 or visit closetsbydesign.com.
Hey, bro, weirdest thing is happening at the game. Every time I crack a Bud Light, we score a touchdown. I think I'm some kind of football prophet.
Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Stock up today. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
This is your local sports update. I'm RJ Saunders for 1010XL. This update brought to you by Southern Oak Insurance. Jacksonville Jaguars have signed Killian Zier to their practice squad. Zier is a native of Munich, Germany. Also a member of the NFL's International Player Pathway Program. Spent 2 seasons with the Houston Texans. Has also had time with the Cleveland Browns, the Atlanta Falcons, and the San Francisco 49ers. Right now, 75 degrees at 11 o'clock. Time in temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Oh noes.
Served up by Twin Peaks, home of the 29-degree draft on 1010XL.
All right, Johnny O in London as the Jaguars get ready to host the LA Rams on Sunday at Wembley Stadium. John, offensive line was not the offensive line we'd gotten accustomed to for the first month of the season, what we saw against Seattle. What's more real here? What we saw for the first 4 games or the pressure they allowed in the last couple?
Well, yeah, you got to trust it's the first 5 because, and 4, fair point. Just because you saw it early and, you saw it for an extended period of time. So I don't think that was fake. I think what this offensive line is to me is it's a lot of good players. I'm not sure outside of maybe Anton Harrison that there's a future Pro Bowler there. I think he has that level of just natural ability. But I think it's a line that has to play well and has to be cohesive, meaning they have to play at what for them is a high level. I don't think they can just be okay and be good. So I also think the offensive line was probably affected by a couple things. Britton Strange's absence, not necessarily on passing downs, but it hurts them in the running game. So you're not running as well. Mm-hmm. And that causes you to not, to be in more passing situations than they were early. And then when you have 7 penalties that take you back into down and unmanageable situations, I think those 2 factors probably played into it. And the Seahawks defensive line was the best they had faced. So I think those factors compiled to make it surprisingly rough for the offensive line the other day.
Johnny O, I can already hear it. I'm sure you can anticipate this as well, that after this week's game that we're going to have 2 weeks of talking about when is Wyatt Milam going to get into the lineup. Have you gotten any indication that he may be able to play this week in London as anything more than just a backup offensive lineman? Because you're talking about players with the potential to be really good, not just good players on the offensive line. Milam might fit that bill for the football team, but we haven't seen him yet. Do you get any sense that they want to get him on the field this week?
Well, Liam alluded to it a little bit when he talked on my days are all messed up, but Monday in the post game or in the next day presser, he talked about working Milam more than just a show team guy this week. I don't think that they would, it sort of makes sense to have him work more in practice this week, have him be ready, and then work him in with the starters. If you're going to make a move, which I don't sense that they want to do that yet, but if you were, it would make more sense coming out of the bye. So he's getting more and more ready. I kind of don't think they would do it this week for continuity's sake, except for the fact that it was so bad the other day. So I still don't think they would do it yet.
And, John, you look at what the L.A. Rams bring in terms of a pass rush up front, and, they can stop the run as well. But Seattle more known as a run-stopping group, and they got all those pressures, got the 7 sacks. We've talked about it a few times in the last couple of days. DeMarcus Lawrence had a very quiet season, came in and really made his presence felt. Now you look up and you've got Byron Young, you've got Jared Verse. It doesn't get any easier. Is the challenge equal, more difficult, less difficult with the matchup that they face on Sunday?
Well, what you hope, and it sort of alludes back to what I said earlier, you hope that they can run better because the Rams aren't quite as, on paper, stout against the run. They knew going in that it was going to be hard to get into good situations with the running game. If you can get into better situations against the Rams, then you can counter the pass rush a little better. From a pure pass rushing standpoint, they have the two guys who are more, they're going to get you if they're in the situations. I think they have to stay out of bad down and distance. I mean, playing clean and being able to run is probably their best weapon to keep Verse and Young from being effective.
Whose seat would you say is hot or hottest along the offensive line, if any is, in reality, going into this week's game with the potential for Milam and change coming out of the bye?
Yeah, it looked to me, and this is just my thought from seeing a few plays that stood out. Maybe left tackle, maybe Walker Little, but I don't know that I'm not saying that as a slam dunk. It's more of a Hail Mary is my thought on that, meaning my thought on it. But that would seem to be the area where I almost think they would go Cole Van Lanen first before the bye, just for the reasons I cited earlier, that maybe you don't put the rookie in until after the bye to get him ready. That would be my thought. I'm not super passionate about that idea.
Yeah, and then in that scenario, basically leave everybody else intact playing the same thing that they've been playing up until this point.
You would think, because you don't want to make a bunch of changes, because then you've got a lot of things going on rather than just one. Sorry,
Right.
Mike, I interrupted you.
And granted, when they come back, by the way, they're going to have – it's not like they've got 2 weeks of practice, right? They're going to have basically that week off. So, but you can start fresh in the following week, and you can kind of reassess and do a little self-scouting as well with the coaches watching the film and see if they're at that point yet. John, let's get a caller in. Well, we've got you here. We've got Jared on hold. He's got a question or a comment to make. Jared, you're on with John Ozier live from London. Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
What's up?
Hey, I kind of got two things. So he already touched on Britton Strange. My question is, I was not a Travis Hunter believer to begin. I thought, he didn't do what he did in college in the SEC or the Big Ten, but I'm actually really impressed with him. He's got the potential for superstar status. So I get getting him worked into everything, seeing what he can handle in the NFL, but you've got these issues with wide receivers dropping the ball, and everybody wants to blame Trevor for everything. But why would you not get the ball to Travis Hunter as much as you can?
Fair question, John. What can they do more to get the ball in his hands, or do they need to be doing more?
Yeah, I mean, I think they want to. They've had some stuff in there to get it to him. Against Kansas City, there were a few routes that were designed to go to him, and I didn't go to him. So sometimes your intent on offense, it's a little harder to just say, well, just throw him the ball. If the progression doesn't get there, if he happens to be covered on the specific play, it can be harder to feed that than maybe it seems intuitively. But there's no question, every week they want to get him the ball. I keep sort of saying and thinking that this will be the week it happens. But I can't disagree with the caller at all. He's as dynamic an offensive player as they have. He makes guys miss. You'd love to see them get him the ball. At 12 yards downfield, we can all see at some point it feels like he's going to make a guy miss and take it to the end zone. It almost feels like when it happens, everybody will go, there it is.
Yeah.
We saw it. But I think that's going to continue to be a focus. And they desperately, I shouldn't say desperately, but they very much want to have him more involved offensively.
Yeah, I think we all had our own ideas of what it was going to look like with Travis Hunter going into the season. I know I'm a little bit surprised by how slow it feels with them allowing his opportunities to expand, right? Like, I can understand not wanting to overwhelm him, but, I am a little, more nervous about those kind of comments, given what we heard from a guy like Jarian Jones this offseason, talking about, he was asking to do more. I've gotten no sense to this point that Travis Hunter has been overwhelmed about anything that he's been asked to do. So I don't think that they're coming close to overloading his plate yet. Do they just need to put more on there and see how he reacts? Because he's a good enough player that it feels like he can handle whatever spotlight you want to put on him.
Well, again, I think they want to. I mean, yeah, I believe in the last, 11 games left, I think you're going to see increasingly that they're not scared to use them. They don't feel like they're overloading them. Now, there's certainly stuff as a rookie that you will be better at in terms of knowing the offense in your second year. But I've got no sense that they think they're overloading them. They want to get him the ball, and it's just been circumstantially not able to do it as much as anything else. But I think you'll see him more and more involved as you go forward, and I don't sense any hesitancy on playing him or them thinking that he's being overloaded.
All right, John Oehser is in London. He's going to squeeze in a few extra chips, maybe a bite of fish as well over the break, and we'll come back with more with Johnny O, including the Jags seemingly creating some cap space for a reason. What might that reason be? We'll discuss that and more coming up. John Oehser in London, the senior writer from Jaguars.com. We're back stateside. You're listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today for the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. 1010XL's running game takes a giant step forward.
Fred Taylor is the whole package.
Fred Taylor joins Dan and Jeff on the drill. Monday morning running back with Fred Taylor is fueled by Epstein and Robbins and Monahan Jewelers.
Hey, First Coast, it's your boy Leon Searcy, your lemon pepper guy. Back and better than ever for Wingstop. You know I can't resist those crispy, flavorful wings that make your taste buds dance. Wingstop just opened a hot new spot on Jeremiah Street in Middleborough. There's 17 locations now serving up the most mouth-watering wings in town. And my all-time favorite, lemon pepper. Try their new quick and easy ordering on the app and swing by today for fresh, hot wings made for you. Only at Wingstop.
Awaken 180 weight loss.
Jaguars Today, Wednesday.
San Jose Collision is hiring for an automotive detailer and porter. If you're detail-oriented, dependable, and love working with cars, apply in person at San Jose Collision in Mandarin. Valid driver's license required.
I'm Frank Franzi, and I just got back from the farm at Okefenokee. Man, it's incredible. Just an hour north of Jacksonville and Folkestone. I was so impressed. It's about connecting with nature, with food, with community. And now you can own your very own handcrafted cabin tucked into a 1,000-acre regenerative farm. Everything you need is there. You'll hardly need to go grocery shopping. Learn more about all of it at okefarm.com. That's O-K-E farm.com, the farm at Okefenokee.
When someone excels in and out of the classroom, we should celebrate it.
That's why 1010XL brings you the Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Scholar Athlete of the Week.
Wednesdays on The Frangie Show, tuned up by
The Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about letting things roll off of your back. So often we can make big deals out of things that are not really big deals. We can allow them to steal the joy of our day. But let me remind you that don't allow anyone or anything to steal the joy of today. Go out today not letting little things steal the big things that God has in store for you.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com.
After an accident, you may have an x-ray that looks normal, but you're still in pain. That's because soft tissue injuries like sprains and tears don't show up on x-rays. And if an insurance company doesn't see it, they may not believe you're hurt.
When they don't take your pain seriously, we fight back. We know doctors who are experts in diagnosing soft tissue injuries. They can help us prove that your pain is real, and we'll seek to get you paid for all of your future medical expenses.
Farah and Farah, Jacksonville.
Hey folks, Mike Dempsey here. You've heard me talking about Pella Windows and Doors with great ratings and expert reviews. You know they're high quality and energy efficient products. So what's your next step? Schedule a free consultation at PellaJacks.com or just stop by the Pella showroom on Phillips Highway. Their professional design consultants will guide you through your entire project from start to finish. And that's the quality and service you can expect from Pella Windows and Doors.
Grab your cowboy hat for the Beach Barbecue Bash presented by Sunshine State Plumbing and Reliable Ducks. Thursday, October 30th. Live music, sizzling barbecue, and Southern Charm supporting Boys and Girls Clubs of Northeast Florida. Get tickets at bgcnf.org.
Are you trapped in a high-rate mortgage, watching your hard-earned money vanish every month? Stop right now. At Loan Pronto, they are delivering the lowest mortgage rates in 3 years. Hey, Prosser here. Loan Pronto's rate reduction home loan program is a streamlined, low-cost way to slash your house payments by hundreds of dollars a month. Lock in at a fixed rate as low as 4.99% APR and close in as little as 2 weeks. No appraisal needed in most cases. And here's the kicker. You can skip your next 2 house payments entirely. Don't wait. Rates this low won't last. Call Loan Pronto now for your free, no-obligation quote. Loan Pronto is amazing. So start now by calling 904-999-1508. That's 904-999-1508. Or visit loanpronto.com to lock in your new low rate and skip those next 2 payments. 999-1508 or loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781. Subject to lender approval, NMLS, consumeraccess.org.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Oh, noes.
Served up by Twin Peaks, home of the 29-degree draft on 1010XL.
All right, we got John Ogier live in London. Jaguars Today rolls on this morning. Got Johnny for another 20 minutes or so, so let's take advantage. John, we'll get back to the phone lines here in a second, but as we've talked about here and alluded to heading into the break, Jags have created some cap space with some restructurings, have approximately $12 million available to them. Now it seems like James Gladstone is at least putting himself in position to make a move if one presents itself. So I ask you, where would you like to see the reinforcements come? Or if they were to make a move, and let's say there was help available at any area on the market, what's the area you think they'd most likely look to shore up?
Yeah, I think the one that jumps out, I heard you guys talking about it, and defensive tackle feels like a place where you can have impact. The thing that makes me hesitate there is they're already pretty good against the run, so I don't know that they need reinforcements there for that. How much pass rush are you going to get from that spot if you upgrade it, which is sort of what they're lacking? Edge would be the thing, but again, I think you guys nailed it beforehand. Are you going to go get big time edge because you've already got 2 of your best 3 defensive players
right
are on the edge? So how much do you get from that? How much do you want to spend on short-term rental for, if you're not going to get a 70% of the down player? But I do think I expect them to make a move somewhere along the front of the defense. Just not quite sure which position. Some of it will be who's available, right? I mean, like, you can wish it, but you got to make sure the player's good, whichever spot you're going after. So I'm not quite sure what they'll do, but I expect them to make a move. I expect them to make a move along the front. Tight end is also another one where I think you could see him make that move, but I don't know how high profile that would be. With Quentin Morris, I don't know how long he's out, but now all of a sudden with Strange out too, blocking would become something you want to make sure you can still do it on a decent level.
Yeah, if
but
Brock
the bias
Bowers
sort of
wasn't
throws
hurt,
that in too.
Yeah, I think if Brock Bowers wasn't hurt, Michael Mayer would be a great target for this team because he is a physical block first, but can give you a little bit as a receiver as well.
Yeah, should we?
And some of that too is if you're going to do that, you want to make sure that you're not, if you're going to get a guy that not on the final year of his deal, you sort of want to make sure you're not shopping for short term, and then not have a guy that you like at least for a year or so for the long term. Go ahead.
Should we be expecting more impact than we're getting from Mason Smith at this point in this season?
I guess. I mean, I'm not sure how much everybody expected. But yeah, I mean, if you're looking for pass rush, if you're looking for penetration, has been okay at times. Probably hasn't been what people would have expected, considering the draft position.
All right, 641-1010. If you want to get in on the Checkmate Coatings phone lines, you can with a question for Johnny O. Jay on the west side will be next up here on Jaguars Today. Good morning, Jay.
Good morning, guys. I have a question for, I guess, everyone. How big of a loss is Devin Lloyd? Is it like a big loss, or, we could probably, like, Fourier take over the green dot? Because did Devin Lloyd have the green dot when he was on the field?
I assume Foyer's got the green dot.
No, Fourier had the green dot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not huge in terms of getting other guys lined up. And it's certainly I don't know that it's that big in terms of stopping the run, because Ventrell Miller is certainly a very capable run defender along with Foye. It didn't feel like they missed a lot of that. Where it's huge is, he was changing momentum of a game once again. And when you get a turnover or a big play defensively, even if it's not a turnover, if you have a defensed pass, or if you force a third down that you wouldn't have gotten normally, a momentum-changing defensive play is huge in this league now because it's so geared toward offense. So they missed him because he was making big plays for 5 games.
Right. He was making big plays. But I think if we go back, Tony, John, 6 weeks, and I asked you, who do you trust more in coverage, Ventrell Miller or Devin Lloyd? Who would you say?
A lot of people would have said Ventrell.
I would have said Ventrell at that point in time. And that's not to say that Devin Lloyd's been phenomenal. He's been the most valuable defensive player on this team to this point, John. But I think that Ventrell Miller, maybe he won't make those splash plays, but that doesn't mean Lloyd was going to keep that pace up either. You know what I mean? He did make that fantastic play against Kansas City, and you can't take that away. But he had 2 tackles in the game. It wasn't like he was all over the place making an impact. He made a massive impact on that one play, and it's hard to calculate if Ventrell will be in position to do any of that kind of stuff.
This may seem pretty obvious, and if it does, I apologize. But I think you miss more from having Trayvon playing with one hand than you do Devin Lloyd out, because Ventrell Miller can do these things. And I don't know that you can replace very much of the physical dominance and potential pass rush that Trayvon gives you with what's behind him.
Well, we've been living that the last 2 weeks, right? Like, we know what that looks like on the field when Trayvon can't be that guy. So we've seen the impact of that. We don't know exactly what it's going to be as far as the playmaking ability of the defense with Devin Lloyd being out, because it hadn't been all that long for us to see that as a long experiment. But based on what they've done this year, you do look at the guys that we're talking about here. It's hard to replace the playmaking ability of Devin Lloyd on the field with what he's done so far this year. I think Jordan Lewis would be in that camp with what he gives them in the secondary right now. Like, there are guys that they're playing at a level that if they come off the field, it's like, we got other guys that can play, but they can't do that, right? Like, that's what it feels like with Devin Lloyd. We got Ventrell will be okay, I think, at that linebacker spot, but I don't think he's going to give you what Devin Lloyd's been able to give you through the first month of the year.
Yeah, and I tend not to talk a lot about injuries if I can avoid it, but if you think about it right now, I'd make a strong argument that Brenton Strange is your best offensive player, and that Trayvon's your best defensive player. That's just my thought on it. And you're without you've been without those guys full strength. They're out, and Hainsey being out, and Lloyd. That's a lot of frontline guy who's made differences, who was out last week and is questionable now. So this is sort of that little attrition point. The good news is they're not out for the season, but you got to if you can get through this without those guys, get a bye and get them back, you feel like you've navigated a storm.
John, where are you at on the season that Brian Thomas is having at the moment, right? Had a good game productivity-wise, almost had 2 touchdowns, and Travis Hunter lined up off sides, negating one of them. But he also had a big drop. in the game. Had one pattern that got kind of thrown off. Tom McManus did a pretty good breakdown on it. The one that, he kind of slipped coming out of his break, and the timing was just off on it. But just overall, where are you on where the present state of the game of Brian Thomas Jr.?
Yeah, it feels like since Cincinnati, which was the sort of low point in terms of drops, and you just wonder what the heck's going on. I feel like he's coming out of it and concentrating on catching the ball better, and it feels like it's been steps up overall. Too many drops in big situations. I mean, you can point to multiple games where there has been a drop where, I never say one play cost him a game, but there's been drops where if you make the drop, you got a lot better shot. So in both losses. So it has not been, I think, what he expected. And the drops really concern you because they continue to be, guys are going to have a drop every few games, but every game from your number one playmaker who you got to rely on, it's got to be better.
All right, John, hang loose. We'll come back to you. We got one more segment with John Oehser in London. Before we hit the break, though, Tony, why don't you catch us up on what's going on around the rest of the NFL?
Now, gems around the NFL. Brought to you by Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jax Beach.
Atlanta is calling their left tackle Jake Matthews day-to-day due to an ankle injury that he suffered on Monday night. Detroit is hopeful that defensive tackle Aleem McNeil will be able to make his 2025 debut on Monday night. He's working back from a torn ACL that he suffered in December. Detroit safety Brian Branch has been suspended for one game for hitting Kansas City wide receiver Juju Smith-Schuster following the Lions' loss there on Sunday Night Football. The Lions play the Bucs on Monday night this week. The Baltimore Ravens have released Chauncey Gardner-Johnson from their practice squad a week after signing him. He was released by Houston shortly before that, so the adventure continues for Chauncey.
I made some comment when he was released, and somebody's like, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. You hate C.J. Gardner-Johnson." Apparently, half the NFL hates C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
Not the easiest guy to get along with.
Apparently not, right? So, whatever the case.
That's his on-field reputation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, he's the guy that's picking fights. Like, it's literally people are swinging on him.
Look, I mean, he's bounced around between organizations that consider themselves contenders now. And if those are the kind of teams that will overlook a lot of flaws if you can still play at a high level on the field consistently. Apparently, he's not playing at a high enough level to do that. Anyway, we'll come back. One more quick set of thoughts with John Oehser live in London. Then we'll cut him loose from across the pond. You're listening to Jaguars Today. Keep it right here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. Pack your passport. Duval Pride takes a ride for a transatlantic showdown as West Coast meets First Coast for some American football at iconic Wembley Stadium. It's tea time for touchdowns with crumpets and football for breakfast.
Jacksonville Jaguars, Los Angeles Rams.
Cheerio. Sunday morning at 9:30 on 1010XL.
Josie for Hard Rock Bet. Hail Marys, QB draws, corner fades, it doesn't matter. When you bet on touchdowns with Hard Rock Bet, every game day can turn into a big payday. Pick your favorite player to find the end zone in Week 6 now. Last week, one bettor turned a $20 three-leg first touchdown scorer parlay into a massive $12,000 win. Are you next? Download the Hard Rock Bet app now. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Hey, Hicken here. Tired of glasses or contacts? Discover customized vision solutions at Bowden Eye & Associates. Dr. Bowden's team offers cutting-edge options like Evo implantable Collamer lenses or refractive lens exchange and classic LASIK, designed to fit your life. Picture perfect vision for reading, driving, or just enjoying the day. It's easier than you think. Call now for your free screening. Bowden Eye & Associates, they're keeping the First Coast focused.
Lauren Brooks here. Tired of shaving and waxing? At Hello Smooth Men's Spa, laser hair removal permanently reduces hair growth for smooth, stubble-free skin. It's life-changing. With over 400 5-star reviews, they're Jacksonville's trusted choice. Learn more at hellosmooth.com.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwood. Clayton, I've got a simple question. How much does a 1-carat diamond cost?
Frank, that's an impossible question to answer because a carat is only a measure of weight for gemstones. It'd be no different than me saying, I have a beautiful wife. She weighs 125 pounds, which you'd find is a ridiculous description. Diamonds are graded for 4 factors, and carat weight is only one of those factors. The others are cut, color, and clarity, and each of these factors is graded specifically and set by a certified gemologist in an accredited gem laboratory. So when you ask about a diamond's weight, we're going to tell you more than just the price. At Underwoods, we want a customer to understand how all 4 factors of diamond quality relate back to the rarity and value of the diamond. Needless to say, we all understand the value of a dollar. At Underwoods, we want our customers to know what their dollar buys in diamond value. So if you're shopping for the best, stop by Underwoods.
That's at Underwoods in San Marco, in Avondale, or at the shops of Ponte Vedra.
Chelsea here, ready to upgrade your windows or patio doors? During our fall savings month, get 20% off your replacement windows and patio doors. Plus, enjoy 0 down, 0 payments, or 0 interest for 12 months. Our Acclaim Impact windows are built for Florida homes, designed to help you save on energy bills by maintaining indoor temperatures year-round. Offer ends October 31st. Restrictions apply. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free in-home consultation. License number CGC 1527613. Renewal by Anderson, where comfort meets savings.
Hi, I'm Mac with Baker Glass. If you've got fogged up windows, let me help. We'll replace them with clear, insulated units that brighten up your home. People say we're fast, friendly, and reliable. Just check out our Google reviews. Call me today. Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
When you need plumbing, septic, or air conditioning service, trust matters. That's why more homeowners in Jacksonville choose Duck Duck Rooter, the area's most trusted service company. We're licensed, insured, and the only master septic contractor in Northeast Florida. From small plumbing repairs to major renovations, septic tank pump outs, drain field installations, and full air conditioning service, we do it all. Call 904-862-6769 or visit duckduckrooter.com. Duck Duck Rooter. When you're stuck, call the duck.
Bring your marketing to the next level with 3D Digital, your local video production and digital marketing agency that specializes in ensuring your brand story is seen, heard, and remembered. Our award-winning team creates professional content that will be launched across multiple platforms to precisely target your audience. Call us at 904-712-4004 or visit 3ddigital.com to define, design, and deliver exceptional results for your business.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
All right, Johnny O, what's the temperature? It's got to be a little cooler up there just based on the latitude, John. What's the weather like in London right now?
It's nippy. I'm not sure the exact temperature. It's gray, surprisingly enough. That's unusual for London.
Yeah. It's been like in the mid-70s here, man. It's been gorgeous. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'd say it's a little cooler. I've got a light hoodie on, and it's I could use a heavier hoodie.
Dylan says 58 in London is what his research shows.
I'll trust Dylan. I don't argue with Dylan. He's usually right.
Quick scan of weather.com. The internet never fails. John, here's the question. We probably can't answer it fully, but I'd like your opinion nonetheless until we see what happens on Sunday. But how did the Jags respond? Because this was the first game I felt like where they really got outplayed physically. They lost to Cincinnati. They may have been outplayed in some aspects by Kansas City. They gave up a lot of yards, but they won most of their games. They got beat up on the line of scrimmage. They lost at home. How does this team respond mentally here in Week 7?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I wrote something to that effect for something I'm writing later, that it's really the first time they've had cause to doubt. Meaning, I think they all came out of Cincinnati thinking that they should have won the game and probably deserved to win it because of the Travis Hunter play. So this is the first time you can say, you know what, they trailed the whole game or most of the game, but we're never really up. I think it's a huge test. I think they will respond well. I don't know if that means winning, only because of what I mentioned earlier. They're down some significant foundation pieces, but I think it's imperative for the offensive line to play better so that they don't lose confidence in what they've done. I think they'll play well because there's a lot of belief in the direction, and the team overall has a lot of confidence in the direction. So I think they'll respond. They seem to have responded within games well, even against Seattle when it wasn't going well. It never got off the tracks and got completely away from them. I think it's a good sign. But I agree with you. I think it's a major storyline and really the first test in that area Sunday.
Anyone who has listened to the show for any amount of time knows how big of a Josh Hines Allen fan I am, but I am surprised and disappointed that he hadn't become the franchise's all-time sack leader yet this season. I try not to be too married to the sack totals, John, but that doesn't make me a whole lot less disappointed with just half a sack from him so far this year. How would you grade the season we've seen from Josh?
I think it's been pretty good. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious the last couple of weeks that with Trayvon being out, it's been a much more difficult road for him. There were games early in the season where he was absolutely dominant and just didn't have a sack. And even against Seattle, I think Liam talked about it a little bit, and it's so true, and people overlook it. When teams design their offense to get the ball out fast in certain situations, it can really limit the number of times you have real opportunity to get a sack. So would you love for him to have a couple more? Maybe. But I think he's played very, very well for the most part, and with a little dip here after Trayvon got hurt.
All right, so we're going to get you out of here in a few minutes because we know you got some other work to do. So why don't you let us know what your next few days going to be like, what's coming up at Jaguars.com, and just what kind of events are you involved in over the next rest of the week?
Yeah, I'll be hosting the Huddle Up podcast. JP Shattuck is otherwise committed. So for people
I was
who want to
wondering
hear
what
bad,
word you were going to use there. I wasn't quite sure where you're going to go there.
He always, I'll leave the jokes aside on that one. But so I'll be hosting the Huddle Up podcast. So for people who want to hear bad hosting, that's a good chance right there. And then I'll be speaking to Andrew Wingard for the Ozone podcast. And there's a lot of guys I enjoy talking to on this team. I really enjoy talking to Dewey, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, Dewey needs a bounce back week though. Now, right? I mean, he got lost in coverage a couple of times, and that's what it comes down to, John. We always hear over the years, even when the Jags stunk, it's one or two or a handful of plays a game, and it really is. It feels like this year, maybe more than in a long time. Right, everything's up for grabs every week. Tony and I pick games. It's hard to pick them straight up right now and go much over 500 because it does feel, whether it's the parity or whatever kicking in, or just no great teams at the top, that it's all out there for the taking. So hopefully the Jags get back on the winning stride this weekend in Wembley in London. John, appreciate
you haven't mentioned the big game.
Yes.
You haven't mentioned the big game yet. Dempsey Ozier, fantasy football, 5-1 versus 5-1.
Honest to goodness, I didn't even know we were playing. Is that what we're doing this week? We're going at it?
I'm motivated.
All right.
I'm motivated.
Well, knowing the season I'm having, it'll be the last time I mention it as well. So, you know what? You'll know if I bring it up next Wednesday how I did. John, have a great rest of your week out there. Safe travels, and obviously sending all the positivity we can for the Jacksonville Jaguars to come home with a win.
Guys, thank you, and thanks for being flexible. I appreciate it.
All right, we're as bendy as they come around these parts. There he goes, Johnny O, the senior writer for Jaguars.com. Tony, just looking in on the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures a moment ago. Well, here's one for Dylan. Ain't no flaws when you're drinking claws. I think that has to do with your perception of how other people look. Ain't no flaws in anybody. You're drinking, she's a 10, she's a 10, she's a 10. This one, am I crazy? Or could we trade Trayvon Walker for someone like Trey Hendrickson? You're not crazy. You could do that, right? I think Cincinnati would gleefully accept that deal in a season where they're probably, if they're being hard and realistic with themselves, they're not going anywhere, right? I mean, with Burrow out for another extended period of time and Flacco at the helm now, I think they're going to lose to Pittsburgh tomorrow night, Tony. I mean, look, here's why would you do that? And now you'd say, well, because Trey Hendrickson is better. Okay, and I'll grant you that. And he has been the NFL's best at getting the quarterback on the ground the last 2 years. He has 4 sacks this year. He's also 30. And Trayvon is 24. He turns 25 in December.
Yeah.
So you're talking about more than 5 years age difference between these two. Trayvon is only in the 4th year of his rookie deal. He's under contract for next year on the 5th-year option. And while that number is going to be more than it is now, what's Trey Hendrickson going to want again next year, right? He had the whole holdout. They eventually gave him basically a 1-year adjusted contract somewhere around the $29, $30 million range. So are you prepared to next year franchise tag a 31-year-old pass rusher? And then how long are you going to play that game? So maybe we'd be willing to, right? That's a lot of cap space that you're going to eat up on that deal. But you got Hendrickson for the next year and a half. What you hope is you get a deal done with Trayvon that has him here for the next half decade at least, right? I'm trying to be conservative on that. So, look, would I be opposed to adding Trey Hendrickson? No, because, again, the long term, I think you could figure it out for this year, right? You get these guys on the field. Maybe we do see Trayvon play more inside, specifically when you get to second and medium, third and medium, or long. In those circumstances, you'd find a way. They don't play 100%, so you'd always have two of Hendrickson along with Trayvon and or Josh Hines down on the field at any given time, and you'd have no financial commitment beyond this year. What is that worth? I don't know. Jags have 3 third-round picks, Tone. Would you be willing to give the one that they got, the compensatory one that they're going to get from Detroit? I probably would,
Me too.
for Trey Hendrickson. I mean, look, you don't have a first-rounder next year. I'm not giving up my second-round pick. I'm not giving up that for a 1-year rental. But if I got 3 thirds and I got all those day 3 picks, I can even throw in a couple. I can find the compensation that I think will make it work if Cincinnati's willing to take that on. I think that's absolutely on the table. And, people asking, why aren't we talking enough about pass rush coming in? I think we are. It's just, to me, given a choice, I think defensive tackle. Now, I've got the picture of Jeffrey Simmons in my head, like the complete guy who stops the run, rushes the passer, gets to the passer, and gets him on the ground. He's a game wrecker, right? But are you going to be able to pry that guy loose from your division rival, the Tennessee Titans? And for what level of compensation? Right. I don't know about that. So, look, I'm not opposed to doing multiple moves here to beef up this team, but a deal that would send a 25-year-old, soon-to-be 25-year-old Trayvon Walker off is not a deal I'm looking to do for the Jacksonville Jaguars. So we'll come back one final segment, give you some last thoughts as we say goodbye to John Ogier as he's off to his Jaguar duties in London. We continue on, and we'll wrap it up on the other side. This is Jaguars Today. Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, Dylan Denmark on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today for the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios.
This is your escape. This is your next adventure. This is Mazda, and this is Mazda at the Avenues. Lauren Brooks here. Right now, purchase any new Mazda model, and Mazda at the Avenues will match your down payment or your payments for 1 full year. Plus, every new Mazda comes with 3 years, 36,000 miles of maintenance at no additional charge to you. This is luxury, and this is the start of something new. This is Mazda at the Avenues. For complete details, call 904-430-8047.
It's a Weight Loss Wednesday on Jaguars Today. Awaken 180 Weight Loss, your long-term solution for weight loss.
Want a fresh and flavorful tailgate this season? Chicken Salad Chick has scratch-made Southern-style chicken salad perfect for lunch, parties, and your tailgate. Order 3 ways at one of 4 area locations. Call 1-833-MY-CHICK or online at chickcatering.com.
AC's broke, it ain't no joke. Call Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. FloridaHomeAC.com.
The Golf Club of Southampton has big plans for 2026, renewing the greens plus plenty more. But right now's the time to take advantage of member opportunities before the big renovation. Now until the end of December, you can join and save $1,500 off their initiation fee, plus $500 back in a gift card with a 12-month commitment. All the details are at golfsouthampton.com. Playability for every skill level and a huge practice area to hone your game. Lock in now and enjoy membership privileges at the Golf Club of Southampton.
Attention men and women. If you would like to get your hair back, then you need to listen to some of our clients. John in Orange Park.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Call IHRS now at 904-777-IHRS. Find out how to grow your hair back with a free hair and scalp examination. Mike from Bay Meadows.
I finally found the most experienced company who could restore my hair. Now I have hair where I had none before.
Results guaranteed. Diane from Ponte Vedra.
Now I have what lotions couldn't give me. Thick, beautiful hair.
Find out why you're losing your hair and how to grow your hair back. Call 904-777-IHRS for a limited time free hair and scalp examination.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
Thank you, IHRS.
Thanks, IHRS, for giving me my hair back.
Hurry and receive a free hair and scalp examination and get 2 weeks of laser treatments for free. Call IHRS at 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Hairforme.com.
This is Hayes Carline for First Florida Credit Union. I bank with First Florida Credit Union because I trust them. I can always count on them when it comes to the vast services they provide. The online banking services are outstanding. So easy to use, depositing checks through the mobile app is fast and efficient. First Florida Credit Union was voted Best Credit Union in the Best of Bold City Community Choice Awards for 3 years running, and it's easy to see why. You need to be banking with First Florida Credit Union. They're enriching people every day. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity Lender.
There are 3 certainties in life: death, taxes, and if you stay in your home long enough, a new roof. Pick it here for our friends at Lockhart Roofing. Nobody better in Jacksonville. How do I know? They are a local certified Master Elite contractor, and that means they have a GAF Master Elite warranty. That's the best in the roofing industry. In this day and age, don't settle for cheaper discount roofers. Lockhart Roofing has been here for decades. They aren't going anywhere. Call my friends at Lockhart Roofing, 994-3851. That's 994-3851. Lockhart Roofing, Jacksonville's best for Jacksonville people.
Rollovers, head-on collisions, hit and runs, you name it, we've litigated it.
And while insurance companies joke about the mayhem that occurs on roadways, we've seen the real effects. Lost lives, catastrophic injury, cars crushed like soda cans. And trust us, there's nothing funny about it.
If you've been in a crash, count on our experienced attorneys to seek full justice and all the money your case is worth.
For a fairer fight, you know who to call. Farah and Farah, Jacksonville.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Any way you want it, that's the way you need it.
Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
All right, final few minutes here as we get ready to get out of here. We'll have D-Rock in tomorrow. We're going to try to reach out across the pond again. Maybe Brian Sexton join us. Frangie's over in London. He'll join us on Friday when we have Tom McManus on. So we'll continue to take you out there throughout the course of the week here. But you know what? When I hear that song, what I think of now is Pitch Perfect. I do. I love those movies, man. What can I tell you? Pitch Perfect 2. That one's featured in there. Anyway, somebody asked on the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures, maybe I haven't heard it, but are we talking enough about Cam Little and the giant red flags we saw against the Seahawks? I mean, we've addressed it this week, and, is there an issue right now? There's an issue. Is it a problem? Is it something that needs to be rectified? I think this week, Cam Little goes out and pipes whatever opportunities he has. We'll calm down on it a little bit, Tony. You're not going to bring a bunch of kickers to London to hold tryouts, right? And I don't know if they would be doing that anyway if they're back in the States, but Cam Little we just expected him, fair or not, to be automatic. He only missed 2 kicks last year. Certainly don't expect him to be missing extra points. When he shows you he's got the leg for a 70, you feel like just kick it anywhere close to straight, and you're going to make all the 50-yarders. And, he hasn't done that lately. So, yeah, I mean, for a guy that we thought, you don't have to give it a second thought to this position. This is locked down. He will play his position as well as anyone on the team this year. There have been some slippage in the last few weeks.
Yeah, look, you watch it, right? Like he hadn't had a good enough season that you're not paying attention to what's going on. With Cam Little, we didn't think we'd have to pay attention to it this year, but the way the first 6 weeks have gone, you're at least watching to see what's going to happen. Does that mean, as you said, doesn't mean you bring in a bunch of kickers yet, But I think you're putting together the short list of, okay, if it continues down this path, this is who we want to take a look at.
That list is already
right.
compiled.
Like, I'm sure they already have that kind of thing inside the building. That doesn't mean they're looking to replace him, but they know if they have to replace him, this is the direction we think we're going to go, right? If we feel like it does get to that point with it. I don't think it's at that point, but it's way closer to it than anyone could have possibly expected going into the season.
The fact that we're even discussing it as a maybe future possibility is surprising at this point in time. So look, Cam Little still got all the talent in the world, right? He's got a leg that the ball explodes off of.
No doubt.
He's probably in a little bit of a bad headspace right now, technique-wise, and give him a chance to get out of it. I think, like, this guy that they invested in, he was a phenomenal find last year. He paid off the draft capital that they invested in him, and I think he can be the kicker here for a long, long time. But the kicking position is a funny one. I mean, that's the way. Hey, there's my phone. Probably all heard it right there.
Spam?
Party foul. No, that's probably, I don't know what that was, as a matter of fact. So, obviously, somebody that doesn't know you can't call me between 10 and noon. Then again, I had my ringer on, so go figure. Anyway, again, on Cam Little, let's wait and see.
Yeah.
We're aware of it. I'm sure they are as well. I don't sense it's like a great issue yet. But again, if he makes the extra point and he makes the 50-yard field goal, then at the point they ended up going for 2, they would have kicked an extra point to make it a 3-point game. So it changed how they played it out going forward in the rest of that game.
I think with the way the first month and a half has gone, it's fair to say if it becomes an issue, they're not going to be surprised by it. Like, they're not going to be caught off guard by it at this point. They're prepared for whatever it turns out to be. That doesn't mean they're going to put a lot of pressure on them yet, right? But they're aware of the situation enough that if it does turn to that kind of thing, they'll go to something else if they have to.
By the way, if he had missed the 50-yarder and just made the extra point alone, they still would have kicked the extra point because that would have cut it to 6, and they could have won it with 7, provided that the defense didn't give up anymore. And the defense gave him multiple opportunities to get the ball back in the fourth quarter. So here we go. Can they run the ball against the LA Rams? I think it's going to be one of the most telling things. As John said, that's the way to slow them down. They're not as daunting against the run, but they've got some pretty good run stoppers on that team as well. And can the Jags offensive line respond after being physically pushed around? And that's going to be the story to me in this whole game. And I think it's a net positive for the Jags. If they don't have Puka and we don't have Devin Lloyd, I think I'd take that trade, quite frankly.
Me too.
You know, you can't control the ball coming to Devin Lloyd. They can control getting 15 targets to Puka Nacua. And nobody's figured out a way to slow him down prior to that ankle injury so far yet this year. So, I would, again, rather have Devin Lloyd out there, but if that's the one-for-one trade, I think that works in the Jags' favor. And, as Liam Cohen said, we're not going to hear from him today, but you'll probably hear from him throughout the course of the afternoon. We'll get into it with D-Rock tomorrow. Whatever you do with Matt Stafford, don't trust the eyes. He's a wily veteran.
He is.
He's been around. He can throw it. He's got an arm still that can throw it.
Not afraid of that no-look thing, man.
He'll no-look it. He'll throw across his body. He'll do whatever, and he generally makes the throws. But if he's down a couple of receiving assets, that can make a big difference. Potentially. We don't know yet. All right. With that, let's say hello to XL Primetime.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
All right, Big Sirs in the house.
What's going on, gentlemen?
Leon, how are you?
I'm doing wonderful.
All right, so what are your thoughts? Here's the question for the Jags. Do they mentally bounce back after being pushed around this past week?
I hope so with the offensive line. I hope there's some pride in that building, especially offensively, to get the job done because that was a massacre on Sunday. We got manhandled.
They did. No question about it.
Yeah.
So we'll find out what, pride can only take you so far. You got to be better than the guy across from you, too, right?
Absolutely. War wheels. It's absolutely war wheels. And Liam said the right thing in this presser. He said the offensive line is eager to get back out there. But, TC used to have a thing in the locker rooms that said, deeds, not words.
Mm-hmm. Well, you can't perform those deeds, and he's going to get asked about it. Like, I get it. It's midweek. What's he going to do? But I hear you. You can say all you like.
Show it on Sunday.
Let's see on Sunday. And
don't talk about it. Be about it.
Be about it. So what are you going to be about today on
well, we're going to talk about the potential coaching changes in college football, along with the Jags as well.
Don't talk about it.
Be about it.
All right, there you go. Big Sirs, appreciate you. All right, there he goes. XL Primetime coming your way for the next couple of hours. D-Rock in tomorrow. That'll do it for us today. Thanks to John Ozier for joining us live from London. We hope to do more of that tomorrow, not with Johnny O, but we'll reach out to our contingent. And then Tommy Mack on Friday as we continue through the week and move towards the bye week as well. For Tony Smith and Dylan Denmark, I'm Mike Dempsey. Stick around for XL Primetime coming up next here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Maxwell House coffee will live on forever.
Jaguars Today.
For the